Hey guys, welcome back to my channel, and it is Vlogmas Day 2. So today's Vlogmas is a little different. Today is about an adoption story. You will see what type of adoption story in that. But I want to start by saying I got the opportunity to take a little adventure with a very good friend of mine. You'll see who it is. And do something what I think is like really awesome. It was something that totally touched my heart, and that's why I chose to share it with you guys. And and this friend in my life, and you'll see who it is, she kindly let me document some of it. It's a little all over the place, and I realized at the end of this part of the day we had, I didn't really show everything, but I'm gonna come back at the end of this and tie things up. And yeah, so let's jump into this adoption story. Hi guys, it is Vlogmas. I don't know what Vlogmas day this is because I don't have a schedule. And I'm on an adventure with...
Then turn left.
Hi! So this is more her adventure, but I'm along for the ride. But I thought I'd make a vlog about it because with Christmas coming up, I thought this would be the perfect time to maybe put a thing out to... Leanne is adopting a dog.
I'm adopting a dog.
So we're on our way to Niagara on the Lake, we believe at this point, because times keep getting changed. But this dog is coming from Kentucky.
Yeah.
And
through the Niagara Dog Rescue.
Yes, Niagara Dog Rescue. I will get all that link for that and put it down below. And I just thought I would share this. It's probably not going to be very long, but I thought I would share this little adventure that we're going on because it would be a perfect time to remind people to maybe consider adopting a pet
onto Queen Street
before buying a pet. Like, because there's a lot of dogs and any type of pet, really. Like, you can get rabbits and guinea pigs.
Sign, turn right. It's telling me how to drive through Wrigley right now.
So, and I'm not gonna like condemn anyone who wants to get their a lot of times like a puppy of some sort because they have
there are lots of puppies for adoption too, because a lot of pregnant dogs come into the shelters.
This is true.
So there's lots of puppies to adopt
too.
Sign.
Yeah.
Turn right onto
So this started about a week ago, a little over a week ago, like a week and 2 days ago. And Leanne had to you had to have 3 referrals.
3 references, yeah. It took me like an hour to do the application, and then I lost it because it didn't go through.
Turn left onto Amberley Road.
I had to do it 3 times. So that was fun. And then I needed 3 references and a vet reference. And you have an interview with a volunteer from NDR. It's all volunteer based. There is no actual home base for the Niagara Dog Rescue. It's all volunteers, and they work with shelters around the area if they're housing dogs, and then they foster dogs to families as well. So consider fostering if you can't adopt also.
Yeah.
And it's okay if you're a family. You don't need to be worried if you're a family and want to look for a dog also, because that was my big worry, that they wouldn't want to adopt a dog out to us because there's so many of us and lots of kids. But there's so many dogs that they have dogs that are looking for families, right?
And Leanne also has cats.
Yes, and I also have cats.
And they tested this dog with cats. So I was one of her references, and it was like 17 questions. And it was like, just really like, they wanted to know my relationship with her and why I think they wanted a dog and what type of dog would be good for them, what type wouldn't be good for them. And if they could afford if the dog got sick, because animals are a big expense if they get sick. If you're lucky, they don't get that sick, and you only have to. It's still a bit of a fee each year. Like I think Samson's is usually about $200.
Yeah, I think Cody was about 200
so
a year for shots and stuff.
So we are just on our way first thing this morning. There's like a little bit of weather off and on that we're dealing with. It looks like right now it's fine.
It's off right now. We're good.
Yeah. So it's delayed the transport of this dog. Like we said, this dog's coming from Kentucky. Leanne thought she wasn't getting the dog for 3 weeks, but
surprise, it came in 2 days.
yeah, so he's almost here. So we're hightailing it, but they've also hit a bit of weather too, so they were a bit delayed off and on. So we're just on our way to Niagara Lake to pick up a dog from Kentucky. Okay, so we are here. We just got gas and went for a pee, and yep. So we're here. It wasn't a bad drive.
No,
it was actually really nice, easy. Pretty much, you just had to pay attention. But Leanne is picking up her dog, which is an
English bulldog crossed with a lab.
So there's a name for it.
A bullador.
And she says it's like people get these dogs because they're designer dogs.
They're a designer breed, I guess.
I just realized I'm not in very good. And his name is Mr. Jones.
Mr. Jones.
It's epic. Can't change the name. We all love it. Why did you choose Mr. Jones?
I chose Mr. Jones because he popped up on the site. He was actually on Facebook before he was on the Niagara Dog Rescue site.
Okay.
He had been hit by a car, but only had like scrapes and bruises, nothing broken, nothing serious. They did find his owner and called him to come pick him up, and they just asked to have him put down. He's only 5 and there's nothing wrong with him whatsoever. They just were over having a dog. So,
and Leanne was telling me, like, because you talked to the people at the rescue, that down in especially like southern states, they do not love dogs like we consider them our family.
Yeah, they're not always considered family like we do.
No.
They tend to use them for a purpose, like breeding or working or something like
right.
that.
So when they're done, and that's the reason why you'll see a lot of times dogs coming from the States to Canada, because
the demand's higher.
Yeah, like here we're more willing to take a dog in and make it our family. And he was at a kill shelter.
He was at a high kill shelter in Kentucky, yeah.
And Leanne did say it was more than likely he would have been probably one of the first ones killed off if he wouldn't have gotten a home.
Yes, because he had an owner who didn't want him, so he would have been put down first before, like a stray, who they would wait to see if they could find an owner.
So basically you had to do all the things you had to do, and would you mind asking me telling me what the fees were?
For him, because he was between, I think, a year and 7 years, he was $600.
Okay.
And then the fees are a little different depending on if you get a puppy or a senior, like they're higher and lower.
Okay. And so they shipped him from Kentucky to here, and now we're in a parking lot. We're gonna go over and get him. Like a few people in front of us.
I need this bag.
So Leanne had to get everything. She also has to bring a collar and a leash, and she's got it all ready for Mr. Jones. He even has a tag with his name on it. But you just fell in love with him when you first saw him.
I did. He was mine. He broke my heart.
Yeah, he is super cute.
He's really cute.
The other thing is you did have a dog. You guys had a dog before, but it died over a year and a bit ago.
Yeah.
And it took him that much. And then all of a sudden, I was actually really shocked. Leanne sent me a message saying, will you be a reference? Because I'm looking to adopt. And at first I was like, you just had a baby. And then I realized it was for a dog. So the lady just came over, and apparently they are not here yet. It's been a little bit of like, they're here.
She said they should be here, but they probably didn't take the highway. That's
right.
all.
So they're moments out.
Yeah.
And it was really nice because it gave her an opportunity. She talks to each car. So there's 3 cars in front of us, and she's talked to each one. And she sort of debriefs you on the steps. That, what did she say? There's a 3-day period, a 3-week period, and a 3-month period. So the 3 days, like,
let them decompress for 3 days. That's how long it takes for them to get over the transport.
And you're not really walking them too far, like just more and less in the backyard, because they don't know where they are, and everything's really
who you are.
And they don't know their names a lot of times. They're stressed out. She compared it being on a Greyhound bus with 20 other people for 20 hours.
Yeah.
How would you feel? So, and it was the other thing, like, she just wants to make sure, because if you have kids like I myself, and I'm sure you do, you want to just go up and hug all the dogs. Like, you want to hug up and get in their space. They don't want that. They want to be left alone.
Yes.
So I
have already briefed the children, because we have many.
Yeah.
So they have already been briefed, and we already have a plan in place on how they're going to approach the dog today. They'll be doing it one at a time, and in my bedroom where the kennel and everything is currently set up, away from everyone else. So.
And just for like a short period, and then
we'll see what his we don't know his personality, so when we find out, it'll take a few days to have a personality come out. So.
And she did say that, like, you might be lucky where the dog wants to do those things and whatever. And then she said it's 3 weeks.
3 weeks, what did she say? 3 weeks for what? Until they feel
a little bit more like stable, I guess. Like, they're still trying to figure things out, but they're a little bit more comfortable where you could take them on a longer walk and things like that, I think she said.
Yeah.
But it was like 3 months until they feel like they're home, and then
home,
they quite possibly could test boundaries like children and like chew your e-reader. I'm just using that example because that's the example she used.
Said.
Yeah. So that was very informative. And there's also a liaison person that will reach out to you in 6 weeks to see how things are going.
Yeah. I imagine it's probably my lead or something. Like, we all have leads with the Niagara Dog Rescue that has done like the intake process and everything with us. They're just different than the person that called you guys for references.
Okay.
They actually have somebody else do the references. And then, she said what, the 3 Ps also are a thing?
Yeah, pee, poop, and puke. Yeah. They will probably do all 3 of those in the 3 days. Yeah. If you're lucky if they don't.
Yeah.
So it is what it is.
I'm prepared. I brought an extra blanket and everything else.
So just to, like, because some people get bent out of shape about kennels, they want you to have a kennel for them to go into when we pick him up. Like, they don't want...
This is a travel kennel, and he has a kennel at home also.
They don't want him roaming around the back seat.
No.
They want him in, like, because for a kennel, especially for these guys, they're under stress right now, that, there it is, that a kennel will make a dog feel safe because they're cave dwellers.
Exactly. Yep.
So, yep, it looks like the van is here. So Leanne is just getting herself ready, and we're gonna pick Mr. Jones up.
Mr. Jones.
Mr. Jones.
Mr. Jones.
There it is. So it's a very exciting.
This is so exciting.
So just an update, they are here and they're just getting the dogs out. I would show, but I don't want to impose on other people, and I don't know these people, and they shouldn't be. But
when it's our turn.
We also, the other thing she said, because it's a climate change for them.
Yes, right.
That was, I think, the 3-week thing that you have to watch because they're getting used to everything.
Yeah.
So, and the other thing is she told Leanne about this app, and then when she downloads the app and she takes the dog for a walk, for however long, like the walk, they get money back or something for the...
Yeah, for the walk, to go back to the rescue.
The Niagara
Dog rescue.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it is really cute. It's actually very emotional. We just seen a new dog get his home. You pull up, they put the dog in, but first they take the dog for a little walk to have a pee, and they take some pictures, and then we are on our way. And so we probably won't come back until, we'll see what happens, but at some point Mr. Jones will be in the back with us. So it all happened a little bit faster than I was trying to get a couple pictures, and it didn't work out that way, but it was very emotional to watch everyone get their dogs, and I cried. Leanne is just hanging out with him for a little bit. We got him in the crate. We did this because it's like a 4-hour trip home, so we're just gonna get him in there, and then we said if we get partway home and we think he...
Yeah, when I'm off the highways, if we want to take him out.
Yeah.
Because I don't think that's a good idea when we don't know.
Yeah.
how mellow he actually is.
But in fairness, he did jump in the van quite easily and decided that he was ready to go home.
Yes.
Like he was just,
Hi, sweetie.
oh, his little nub of a tail keeps wagging, so he's quite happy.
Yeah, he's good. He's a little shaky, but he's doing okay.
Yeah.
He's licked me and sniffed me and
Yeah.
ate all the treats.
He's very cute. We'll get a better look at him in a bit, maybe, but we're just letting him relax and get used to everything. But yeah. So that was the adventure. I realized after I didn't really shoot what happened at the end of the day, and that I did not go home with Leanne. She dropped me off before, but prior to that, we were making our way home. It just ended up being, it's so funny because the day went by so quick, but at the same time it was very long because we were driving. I can only imagine what it was like for Mr. Jones. But he was such a good boy. We actually stopped along the way to get a bite to eat. And also I ran in to get towels for Leanne because we decided before she took him home, a lot of times when dogs come out, they stink from the dog kennel. He was also like, you know, like, I don't know how many hours in that van with other dogs. So we just thought it was best before he went home and seeing her kids and her partner and everything, and even just being in the house, if he had a little bit of bath. So we did stop when we got home for him to have a bath at the car, at our car wash. There's a pet wash. So we took him in there and he was a pretty good boy, but it was quite funny. He was quite happy to get out. He's a really, really good dog, and he's like like his temperament and his character is just, he's very well behaved. He actually, Leanne shared a few pictures, and I've talked to her since then, and he is getting along great with the kids. He is getting along great with the cats. Leanne has one cat that's pretty bossy, and he sort of barked at him a bit when Dylan the cat was being him, and Dylan sort of, okay, I'm not gonna mess with this guy. And but he didn't go to hurt the cat or anything, just gave a little bark, and I think it was abrupt for the cat that he got the picture. But Mr. Jones is getting along great with everyone, and they love him. And I went yesterday, and he is doing great. He was going to the vet this morning, and I asked Leanne to give me an update, and this is what she said. His appointment was good. He was a good boy other than his nervous barking. They said he looks good. Just a reminder, like, he did get hit by a car, and he is on antibiotics right now. And I believe Leanne said they will probably, like, Leanne signed a contract and she does have to put him on heartworm medication just because that's how they do it. And him coming from, like, probably a dog kennel and coming from the south and everything. But they said he looks good, and he has a sore on his belly, is healing well, and to keep him on antibiotics. He is 57 pounds, and he also has a broken canine tooth, but they're just watching that right now because it hasn't bothered the gum, so they just have to keep an eye on it, which they imagine that came from him getting hit by the car. She says he is a terrible walker, hence why he probably did get hit by a car. Leanne has a huge backyard, so they're in the process of teaching him how to walk a bit better on, like, the lead and everything. And yeah, so he is doing great. Like I said, I went yesterday, I got a little bit of a video, so that's how I'm gonna wrap today, Vlogmas Day 2 up, is a little video of him. It's nothing too crazy because he's just a good boy. But I just wanted to say a thank you to Leanne and her family, and to Mr. Jones for letting me share this story. And once again, maybe before, if you're thinking about getting a dog, a cat, or any type of animal, look at your local humane society or pet rescues before you maybe go and buy a new one. I'm not condemning anyone who does buy a puppy or anything like that. Some of us have our heart set on a certain type of dog, so that's totally understandable. But if you're thinking about opening your home to a new pet and you're not sure, these organizations are really good at helping you find an animal that's best fitted for your family. And so just take time out and look in your community or look at around communities, because Leanne just happened to see one on the Niagara link, and that's where she fell in love with them. And like I said, they bring them up from the States, from kill shelters and that. So not only are you adding to your family, you're also saving a pet. And yeah, so with that, I just thank you guys, and we will see you guys tomorrow for Vlogmas day 3. And yeah, but here's Mr. Jones. So Mr. Jones is home. He's been home for a couple days, and as you can see, he is quite content with his big nubby tail. And I think everybody is happy, but even more happy is Mr. Jones, right? And his nubby tail. He's very happy. He's a very good boy.